Welcome. Welcome back and welcome home, my love beings. Welcome home. My name is Melissa and I will be your multidimensional cosmic tour guide today. And always, we're going to do a little bit of a collective reading today. The Divine Masculine and Feminine Collectives. We are going to do a check-in, and I keep getting downloads, and the first thing that I'm supposed to tell you is remember, both Divine Masculine and Feminine Collectives, sometimes the truth really is stranger than fiction. And we're going to use the Stranger Things tarot cards. I just got them today. And while we check in and pull a couple cards and see what's going on in the collective for the Divine Masculine and the collective for the Divine Feminine. And as I'm receiving the first message, of course, it's a little bit of a theme to remember, for all of us to remember that indeed sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction. And I'm start with the Divine Masculine first. This is really strong, that there's going to be clarity and perhaps even like regret and a strong pull to fix, correct, rectify things and stand up in your truth as in a balanced way. Take responsibility, be accountable for your actions, your behaviors, your words. And it feels like that's kind of just going to be a little bit chaotic or exciting for the Divine Masculine in the days to come, and remembrances of love and balance and goodness in a lot of ways, and forgiveness inside. And I'm seeing some of the Divine Masculines get new shoes, and there's two dual meanings to this as we are coming out of duality and two become one, as we are in that Divine Masculine Feminine sacred union inside, or as I call the marriage of Christ, the real marriage of Christ, Christ's return in us. And I'm seeing some of the guys, in particular the men, get new shoes just to like clean up and go, okay, no more playing, no more spending money over here in bad ways, and I want to get myself together. And it's like getting new shoes is one of the steps. And the dual meaning in that is that we never know what it's like to stand in someone else's shoes. We just don't. So I'm feeling lots of layers of judgment, prejudices, even persecutions or belief systems that allow human beings to go against each other, threaten each other, bully each other. That's going to be eliminated, and those pieces are going to be unwound out of humanity. And there's a lot that was not actually meant to be humanity's karma that humanity has been integrating. Some of it has been so deep and so awful and so horrific that it's actually been abomination. And I'm seeing this in the last few years, in particular, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And perhaps for the collective, Divine Masculine and Feminine, it's been different cycles over, decades. Not just the last year or the last 10 years, but decades, maybe 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, that has been distorted so deeply with abomination and crime and abuse and the treatment of others being so poor that it just becomes the norm. So it's undoing those persecutions and prejudices and things like that off and on throughout history, as well as the last few years. So the Divine Masculine is very clearly seeing what he chose. He chose pretty poorly, and really has some things to fix, rectify, clean up, heal in himself. And it feels like his choice is very clear. He knows who his divine counterpart is. He knows what some of his purposes and missions are. And if he wants to have this kind of new shoes, or if he wants to totally change jobs or become responsible, accountable for all of the things that he has said and done in the past, and really become the divine man with his divinity streaming of who he came here to be. So I'm seeing that in the divine masculine. Let's pull a couple cards. I'm seeing about the divine masculine talking to like his dog. So it's like connection with the earth and connection with animals, and remembering that compassion, having that friendship, and remembering what actual friendship is and connection is. So the divine masculines coming into their abilities, talents, blessings, spiritual connection, and it's going to be in a really cool way. So I'm seeing some of the masculines really becoming healers, speakers, and really good divine magicians. And that means very magical and alchemy and turning lead into gold in different circumstances and ways. So some will come out as healers, some will be like psychics, some will be like teachers, and the empathic part of the divine masculine is being opened up a little bit more. And I'm seeing that for the collective. Beautiful. I love it. So here's what popped out: the 5 of Spokes in our Stranger Things cards. 5 of Spokes, because they're always riding their bikes around, and there's always spokes on all the wheels. And the spokes, I believe, is cups in this deck. Let me look, because I just got them today and I'm not quite sure. Okay, I looked up spokes, and it is the 5 of Cups. So this one is, to me, it feels like a little bit of regret, remorse, grief, sadness, that the path that you went on, divine masculine, was really bad and rough, bad choices. I know the divine feminine has gone through that in different ways. I wonder if it's something that we flip-flop back and forth and integrate great things in and through. But it feels like the divine masculine's got some sadness and grief and really some loss. You cannot expect to not take responsibility for yourself as this process and integration continues. It's almost like no one's speaking down to you, but rubbing your back and saying, you know, you're safe. And we know this has been so painful. The next one I got is 3 of Dice. So it would be 3 of Swords. So again, more heartbreak, betrayal. So suffering it could be, and just the state of things, the state of the divine masculine, the surrounding circumstances, life, mind, body, spirit, soul, form, is really in a state of disrepair right now, or has been lately. And it could be that some of the divine masculines are coming out of relationships, or just really realizing that they chose the wrong directions, paths, people, ways to do things, belief systems, and it feels like they're really thinking. So I've got Page of Spokes, which would be Cups. So look at that. There's thinking right there. Thinking of what they really want. And it feels like it's coming from kind of beginning states to learn inside how to fix and correct some of the hardships and the really rough stuff that's gone on. So the next one that I got for the Divine Masculine Collective is 5 of Strands. And Strands, I looked up and it was fire. So it's the anguish, anger, chaos, confusion. There's many spells being broken, many binds and bondages being broken through at this time. It's very uncomfortable. It's very unpleasant. And so there's possibly arguments or overthinking going on, or interaction with others, and you realize, I listened to so-and-so in my family, or I listened to so-and-so, and they led me in the wrong direction, and they think it's funny. I am in pain. Where is my balance? Where is my truth? And which direction do I go now? And you are realizing, Divine Masculine, like where you do belong, but it feels so far away is what I'm seeing. And then, I like this. It feels like that in your breath, in your rest, in your recuperation time. It feels like that this Knight of Strands, which would be the Knight of Wands. Get this, he brings you a pizza. And he brings you a little bit of laughter. He brings you a little bit of grooviness and yellow van driving, because this character is so much fun. He sometimes was driving everyone around in this dorky van that has, we will deliver pizza to you on the side of it. And I feel like that's starting to, it's almost like trickle in to the flow of the Divine Masculine right now. Just a little bit of nourishment and remembrance of everything that the Divine Feminine, who feels like pretty separate right now for most, and inside and maybe in our people, but it's all aligned and you can see it, and who it's supposed to be, as well as who you're supposed to be inside. So I really like that. Let's pull one more for the Divine Masculine. Again, seeing people around their animals and kind of sitting on the porch and just taking a minute, like, what? I don't know what. I have nothing to lose. Why don't I just change my whole life and do anything the way I want? Okay, so I got Queen of Strands. That would be Queen of Wands. So if it's a person, sometimes it would be like the Aries or the fire signs. Aries or fire signs, which I am seeing the Divine Feminine come out of bondage so much that they're able to stand up and be who they are no matter what. And so I think the Divine Masculine is seeing that and really uncomfortable about it. Really uncomfortable that they have mistreated that divine, beautiful being in themselves and in others. The Divine Feminine in others and in themselves really badly. And so it's almost like a little bit of, why can't I do that? How come we couldn't do that? And again, those pieces that have been judged, persecuted, things like that, falsely, are falling away. And we're seeing people for who they really are. So I'm seeing true colors come out for the Divine Masculine collective, and seeing that in others around them, and seeing where they might have gone wrong. I'm going to pull one more, because those first cards, I wasn't expecting it to be so difficult, heavy. Some of these things, the heaviness might come out in these next months and years, as the Divine Masculine is grounding and realizing how much he's really been off path or hurt others. Again, fixing. There's nothing to win. There's no need to win anything. So the Divine Masculine is seeing that and being very benevolent, equal, fair, reciprocating. And even though I'm seeing some of the men, the actual Divine Masculines incarnate and that have Divine Feminines out there somewhere, whether they've met them before or not, whether they are thinking about someone from the past or not, it feels like to me that there's a recognition inside of that concept. Like, I do belong somewhere. I do belong with someone, and I am not as off track as forever as it has seemed. Interesting. I'm seeing some people pick up, get in the car, and go talk to someone and apologize over here, and then go talk to someone and ask them. Like, I'm seeing some of the Divine Masculines just like out and out, just go ask someone to marry them. And that might be really good. But there's it's like a stagnant part and then a let's go part, so that it can all be corrected and fixed. And also connecting with their soul family, soul tribes that have been perhaps not around lately, or the wrong people being removed. So you choose the correct soul tribes, even if it takes a while and you're by yourself for a minute. It just feels like the Divine Masculine is being able to choose and clearly see what fits. So I got 10 of Scoops. And the 10 of Scoops would be 10 of Pentacles. So the Divine Masculine can see how to formulate, how to build everything he ever wanted and needed. But there are some scarring and some pieces, some swords to pull out of his back, out of his heart, out of his way, that have really caused him some sadness and grief. And again, correcting, fixing. Cool. Grounding, healing, grounding, healing, grounding, healing is what I'm feeling for the divine masculine. Forgiving themselves and forgiving others. And it's almost like a complete removal of themselves out of this circumstance, this layer, this mindset, this piece of themselves, and the willingness to do their shadow work where before it wasn't so much. So it feels very strong. I'm feeling some people by a lake house, or want to go to a lake house and take the kids, or having new children, birthing children, and wanting to have a family life that's around the woods or the lake, or something like that. So I am seeing that for the divine masculine in the collective, just a place of serenity out of the hamster wheel kind of vibe. And the willingness to protect and support not only the children, but the divine feminine in ways that they have not in the past. That's really nice. So the divine feminine, let's look in for you. I am feeling, it's like it's almost a rescue mission going on for the divine feminine, like super rescue mission. So if you have felt like truly left behind, abused, abandoned, degraded, anything negative, and it pushed you back against a wall or between a rock and a hard place and felt stagnant, the hand of God was like shielding you from some of the true abomination that has been done to you recently and been done to you in the past. And some of those things, it kind of feels like aha. So here we got rest has been needed. Rest has been needed. So I've got 4 of dice, and that is almost like the 4 of swords card, but it's almost like you need just breathing, deep breathing, rest, time to yourself, and for no one's definitions of you or what they've described about you. You're going to realize what the falsities are. And again, true colors of people are going to be seen all over the place. And no one can be you. No one can be like you. And you were chosen. You are loved. And you'll go, whew, okay. And you can be in almost like the end of a very strong wintry hibernation mode. You're coming, like you got rescuers coming in to make things right for you, and I'm seeing you come out. It's almost like being rescued and out of a timeline that you were stuck into and rolled into, and you shouldn't have been. This was part of the dark design to keep us from awakening, keep us in bondage and imprisoned in those old layers of consciousness that we call the upside down. The next one I've got is the Hierophant. I'm seeing the divine feminine really recognize the new earth, soul contracts, we can call it, purified, Christed, clean, clear truth. And I'm seeing a connection and blessings, gifts from God. And I'm seeing you write the scripts. I'm seeing you be the new leaders of writing the scripts of how we want earth to unfold in harmonious ways. That there is plenty for all, safety for all. And I'm seeing you not only be naturally like a good parent and giver, but also a receiver. So I'm seeing these throat chakras and almost like all through here, opening up, which had been wildly distorted in the past, so that you can receive love and adoration and be chosen and held and nurtured and supported. Then I've got, there's one more part. So some of this is a dissolution of a marriage that makes you really happy that you're not married and you weren't chosen. And some of this next part is like, woohoo, look at him. He's holding up corn dogs and he's like, I found my true person. So look at that. They fit. And there's the Ferris wheel behind us, and everything is best, better than it's ever been. And freedom. I'm feeling freedom to be your true self, true rock star self, true rock star seed self. I feel love, you receiving love, whereas it was judgment and underhanded things, and including abominations, truly, in these last few years, like things that were not permitted or okayed by God. So you move up in these higher frequencies, climbing the stairway to heaven here on earth, and bringing that balance to the leaders to write this script in and hold that grid for us. And in a way, you're erasing everything that ever was of distorted evil, darkness, out of the scripts and out of who we are. So I'm seeing the Chariot. I'm seeing some of you have just things, answers, solutions coming to you. And so I love this because there's Hopper's vehicle and there's the two stripes. He's right in the middle of the road coming right for you. And these two stripes, the two become one, and that light streams in, and there's a success here. So there's a Chariot vibe of knowing everything, like it's flooding in, and you're in happy balance and chosen, anointed, and you realize this, and you stand up in your crown, your halo, your wings spread, and you know who you are. But some of you, I am seeing meeting for the first time your true divine counterparts. And if you're, like some of you have walk-ins coming, and you have integrated some of the darkest stuff, including the dark one's karma, and it's all been switched. It's no longer going to be to your detriment to even try to be yourself. And so many of the divine feminines in the collective have been alone and just working on themselves, staying in their own lanes. And it's been the right thing. But this is a woohoo time. It's like the new dawn, the new day in some ways. And I'm seeing Phoenix rising, and I'm also seeing young, old, tall, short, thick, thin, light skin, dark skin, light eyes, dark eyes, feeling good about themselves again, where they have been so degraded. Society or civilization was so degrading women, and the sexual abuse and the magics and the bindings that bound you into being in that traumatized, abused state of being are being released. And I'm telling you, there are beings of dark beings, or the devils or the Demogorgon from the upside down being eradicated from us, and true colors coming through, and you are being rescued and brought back into the regular right side up, where we can, again, you, divine feminine, gets to write the script on how you want it to be. Your divinity, your divine magic streaming through, feeling successful, strong, beautiful, free, and all those definitions, and it's almost like persecutions are erased out of our Akash because of you. Freedom. And then I got justice. There's Nancy with the justice, bringing us justice as she investigates what's going on and how to rectify the situation and figure it all out. Justice. So I'm also seeing, again, resolution with marriage. Some of the people pretended to love you or whatever. That's all gone, thank God. And your divine counterpart I'm seeing this have to do with your clean, clear, pure divine plan, direction that you've been in, inside, in your own sacred union inside. And I'm seeing it meet and match. And I'm seeing some of you receive money. I'm seeing some of you also shut down some old school, really horrific things have happened to children. I'm seeing some of you, it's like I'm seeing a feather like in your hair, and I don't know what that means. You get to pull the feather and write the script with the feather. You know, like any picture of Nostradamus would have this feather, that ink pen, and your divine magician self is going to be stronger than the divine masculine magician self. And the roles are reversed, and you get to alchemize situations. And I'm seeing some of you get married. And some of you have some children coming in. And I'm also seeing animals and a little bit of travel and getting to be themselves, the divine feminine collective. And things will be rectified for you. And if you had to leave circumstances, toxic relationships, or things like that, it will all make sense and be clear, and you are safer than you know. And you can trust that these next steps have really amazing soul tribe and families connections, as our royal bloodlines in the ethers are connected, and we will be able to recognize each other in different ways. Some of you have some cool businesses to start, or books to write, or things like that you have extremely cool knowledge about that needs to be shared with the world. You're good teachers. But it's not to your detriment anymore. You get to receive. If you have a wish list that just always seems to be never come true, please expect that. There's some extremely cool wishes being granted to the divine feminine. Let me pull a couple more. It's almost like I'm seeing people with glasses and their eyesight's better. I'm seeing a couple people get new cars, where everything works right. As we come into this next stage where the world keeps falling apart around us, and the old oligarchy falls apart, and the old rule system, but we don't have any way to change it unless we, scream. It's a revolution. And it feels like we won't put up with that anymore. We're going to help others that need help, instead of ignoring them and saying like, oh, well, someday someone will help you, or you don't matter, or things like that. And you bring the bridge and many of these bandwidth layers all together. The heaven on earth is what you're standing on, and you speak out and you build in tone. Yep, the Fool. Look at that. We don't know where it goes. That's weird. Strange. Stranger things. Truth is stranger than fiction. But it's your time, and you are always chosen. And it feels like that Fool card is the new adventure that you have always wanted. And it feels like you go back to the beginning of time, back to the beginning of the spark of your creation, of who you are, and rewrite the script and follow your true divine plan in really cool ways that cannot be distorted anymore. You bring heaven on earth here to us and teach us how to step and stay grounded in that heaven and earth. The two become one. I'm going to pull just one more card. Strength. So I used to say, when people would say, let's pray for strength, sometimes that bothered me, or courage, because it bothered me, because sometimes that you'd have to be fearful and be beaten down to receive the strength. Now that was in the old school design and matrix, but here I'm feeling like it's being a flow of divinity being your strength, and it's calm, and it's comfortable, it's vibrant and safe, and you are that for other people as well. Every time you touch someone else's lives and cross paths with them, you are anchoring in that safety, stability, light, that we need. And I am going to do one more. I said one more a second ago, but one more. Two fell out. And then right on top, we've got to do this one. So we've got 10 of scoops. So that would be 10 of coins, everything you ever wanted. You know your kingdom, you know you built it. That foundation is just beyond your view because you were thrown out into another timeline, thrown out into imprisonment in these last years. It was unfair. It was an abomination. The way you were treated, the darkness that was done to you, the spell works being undone, and your kingdom, your legacy is walking towards you. And I've got judgment underneath there. It's been brutal and hard, much harder than we would have thought. And those things are going to be corrected. And it's funny because these two cards are together. I shuffled and shuffled and shuffled and shuffled and shuffled so that none of them would be together. But I got the King of Wands, strands, and your superhero self comes together. Your divine feminine with your divine masculine. And you can just let them know, like, yes, I will open the door if you come get me. And I've got the Queen of Strands right behind it. So it feels like the match comes together in the physical. The two become one. Spirit and physical realm touch, and that spark brings that to you in the physical. And I'm seeing some of you just have the best time of your life, just getting to be yourself and be free and share with others in ways that you have not got to share with others, maybe ever in this lifetime or maybe ever in a long time. And freedom. Remember, you're being rescued from this imprisoned state and timeline, and soul fragments, retrievals are happening, and you're being freed, released. And it's super cool because it's almost like you'll have plenty of money. You'll know which direction to go, where you want to live, what you want to do. And I am seeing some of you just change jobs and directions, like favorite colors all of a sudden. And Divine Feminine, you are doing so well. I'm so excited. Congratulations. I feel a celebration. And everything getting stronger for both the Divine Masculine and Feminine. And I'm seeing people come together in person and be able to rebuild this world. And some of you are just superpower couples. And that's not an understatement. So that's pretty cool. I wasn't trying to make it be about divine counterparts and twin flames, but there was a lot about that. And that sacred union in you, stronger than ever. This is a game changer. You're never going to feel the same again. And your wings are spread. You're strong and free. Beautiful. I'm honored to be able to be with you today. And indeed, the truth is stranger than fiction. Some of you, the divine feminines and the divine masculines, and the divine feminine and masculine in us have gone through so much. It's almost incomprehensible. And so you came here, the strongest ones, to be in the waves of volunteers to bring it back into wholeness and balance. And I thank you for that. And you'll recognize your light. I see your light. Others see your light. And there's just a huge clearing between your soul tribes and families as the royal bloodlines of ether, spirit, connect in and are cleansed, cleared, and balanced back to your true original divine blueprints, your image of God. And welcome home, you guys. Welcome home. Freedom, love, peace. I send you great blessings. And I thank you for all of the likes and the shares and the subscribes. I really appreciate the comments and suggestions and questions that you have in the emails and the texts and the comments. Thank you so much. And if anyone wants an appointment,